The 26000-7 MPRR Retrofit kit provides all the necessary hardware to convert an existing 2600 AEI controller to the multi-protocol rail reader platform. Be advised that after conversion, the controller will no longer be compatible with the Model 2600-750 RF module. As depicted, the retrofit kit includes a power supply interface board, a pre-wired internal cable harness, and an external cable which provides connectivity between the 2600 controller and the MPRR. This video provides detailed instructions for completing the MPRR conversion process. Note: it may be necessary to update the controller software to provide MPRR compatibility. The IPC software revision must have a build label of November 2013 or later, or the software update history must have a revision label of February 2014 or later. To view the IPC software revision status, log into the controller via the user interface. From the main menu, select Report Menu, then select the System Status option. The software status is listed near the end of the report. If your software revision is incompatible, contact your system administrator for update instructions. Otherwise, proceed with the hardware conversion. Begin by removing the cover from the 2600 AEI controller. Remove the board stop bracket from the card rack to access the inner board stack. Unplug connectors J7, J3, and J4 from the 2600-200 board. Disconnect the membrane switch tail from J6. Carefully slide the board stack from the card guide. Unplug the ribbon cable from connector J5. Remove the board stack and set aside. Next, disconnect the Ethernet cables from IPC board connectors J1 and J2. Unplug the wire harness connectors TB1 through TB5 from the bottom edge of the FEP board. Unfasten and remove the electronics chassis from the base plate. Disconnect the ribbon cable from the 2600-150 serial interface board connector J1. Locate the 16-pin connector J4. Disconnect the red and black SONalert wires from pins 15 and 16. Disconnect the white-yellow reader disable wire from pin 12. These wires will be reconnected to the new harness in a later step. Remove the harness cover. Unfasten the lower chassis to access the inner wire harness. Locate the green ground wire from the 16-pin circular connector. Cut the green wire at the ground stud, then refasten the lower chassis to the base. Unfasten the 16-pin circular connector and remove the RF1 inner cable harness. Install the new inner cable harness. Carefully route the cables and replace the harness cover. Locate the new J4 connector. Connect the red SON-alert wire to pin 16. Connect the black SON-alert wire to pin 15. And finally, the white-yellow reader disable wire to pin 14. Replace the electronics chassis and fasten to the base. Reconnect the ribbon cable to serial interface board connector J1. Reconnect the wire harness to FEP connectors TB1 through TB5. Reconnect Ethernet cables to the IPC board. The black WAN cable connects to J2. The blue LAN cable connects to J1. Locate and install the new 2600-220 power supply interface board. Reconnect the ribbon cable to connector J5. Slide the board assembly into the card guide. Reconnect cable harness to connectors J4, J3, and J7. Reconnect the membrane switch tail to connector J6. Visually inspect to ensure all wiring has been properly terminated and all fasteners are secure. Reinstall the board stop bracket. Replace the controller cover. The final step is to verify controller to MPRR communications and functionality. Connect an MPRR to the controller with the 2600-763 cable. Connect AEI antennas to port 0 and port 1 of the MPRR. Ports 2 and 3 should have 50 ohm terminators. Power up the 2600 controller. Turn the audible test function switch on. The AEI status panel should indicate test active. Pass an RFID tag through the read field of each antenna. When the tag is sensed, the controller will signal an audible alert and indicate RF lock on the AEI status panel. The 2600 AEI controller hardware has now been converted to MPRR operation and is ready to return to service.